Welcome to From Cover to Code, the Technology Book Club. Join us as we discuss artificial intelligence, DevOps, software development, cloud computing, and more. With your hosts, Angela Andrews and Michael Jenkins. The next episode of From Cover to Code starts now.
And we are live and in the building. How are you doing today, Angela?
Oh, I'm doing so well. It is a Wednesday type of Wednesday.
Right.
For part of the day, I thought it was Thursday. And
oh my goodness,
that never works out well. My feelings got hurt because tomorrow is not Friday. But that's okay.
Not Friday.
Yeah. I made it and I'm here and I'm happy to be here. So I have no complaints. How about you?
Yes,
sir?
And about the same. Once again, on the road over the weekend, the past week, getting back into the office, drinking from an email and alert notification fire hose, trying to get stuff resolved so I can kind of get back into some regular working groove. And as soon as I get into that working groove, of course, I got to get ready for this show, get into the studio, be prepared for this discussion. And then I got stuff going on this weekend and next week. So I'm like in a sort of a busybody sandwich. I'm just kind of pressed from both sides.
It's funny you're talking about a sandwich.
Because you're hungry.
Well, that part. But have you ever heard of a squat sandwich?
I have not heard of a squat sandwich.
I did that today. And I was like, can it not be food related?
Right.
It's basically a lunge, a squat, a lunge on the other leg, a lunge, a squat, a lunge. So you're going, he called it a squat sandwich. I said, okay.
Gotcha. Oh no, I can see that. That's a good workout. But if you're definitely thinking about food while you're working out, I don't know, that may go against your workout as soon as you're done, because you're headed to Panera, I don't know, or some other spot to get that sandwich and make it happen. Jimmy John's, Subway.
Exactly. Well, yeah. It was morning, so it probably would have been a morning breakfast sandwich somewhere. Okay. Maybe at where insert your local breakfast place here. So, but good workout. I got it over with.
Cool. Yeah.
So, anyway,
that's the most important
enough thing about sandwiches and things of that nature.
let's talk about book and code sandwiches, I guess.
How about that? And the book that we're landing the plane on is Hands-on Python for DevOps. We have been in this book deep for the past couple of weeks, cover to cover. Who reads tech books cover to cover?
Besides us, I don't know.
Well, it's funny because even before we did this, I've read quite a few books from cover to cover, tech books. Yep. And I like it. I like the I don't want to say the pace because you set your own pace, but I like to feel that I'm working towards something. I've done it with one of the last big meaty books I'd done it with was PHP and SQL, if I'm not mistaken, many, many years ago. And I stayed in the house all weekend and went through the book. So no sleep, not a lot of sleeping. But guess what? Mm-hmm. I did what needed doing. It was an assignment that I had to do. Yeah. So I learned a lot. And I hope you learn a lot too as you're following along with us on all of these book reads. If you're reading along or just following along, I hope you are learning a lot as well.
Yeah, indeed. No matter what the subject or the book, I mean, we're giving our opinions and just telling the truth and telling it like it is, and enjoying it, picking up the gems as we go. And we were just sharing earlier that this part of the process after the reading, the discussion, is probably one of our favorite parts. We love chopping it up with each other. We love chopping it up with you, dear listener, dear watcher. Thanks for joining us live. If you're on LinkedIn or YouTube, and if you are on LinkedIn or YouTube joining us live, drop in the comments where you're joining us from.
Yes.
What you thought about the book, what you thought about the topics. what type of sandwich you had for lunch today. Just we're happy to have you here and following along with us.
Indeed, indeed. Well, would you like to get started?
Yeah, indeed. So as we wrap up hands-on Python for DevOps, we are closing with chapter 3, the tools to take your DevOps to the next level.
Yes.
Each chapter, before I get all the way into the material, each chapter started with a quote. I'll read the quote for this one, just so we can kind of be consistent with all the practices that we've done up to this point, right? So the quote is from Socrates, and it goes, "I do nothing but go about persuading you all, old and young alike, not to take thought for your persons or your properties, but and chiefly to care about the greatest improvement of the soul." The way that I read this and interpreted this quote as it applies to the book was that beyond all this other stuff that we got going on, it's the author's hope that you have taken something away from the material, that you are changed as a person, as a developer, as an operator, as a combination of the two into DevOps and beyond that. It's an offering, it's a hope, a wish for him that that you're better after having consumed this content.
Agreed. And if you read a little bit further, he does bring that note home. He wants you to have had an opportunity, understand that this was a journey that he was on as a writer and that we're on as his readers. And he hoped, his hope was that, he facilitated our journey well. And it's a lot to write a book. And we don't, I personally will never take the work that it entails for granted. I'm not an author, but to know people who author different types of content and just the level of work and everything that goes into it, it's not an easy undertaking. So all respect to all of our content creators, our authors, our podcasters, our streamers, our LinkedIn authors, because we have one in the building, Pluralsight, whoever you are, and we know quite a few of them, being in this space for as long as we have, we know this is not easy. So, thank you for the work that you do, that you provide a really great service.
Yeah, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And we picked up some gems for this, and maybe we're even getting ahead of ourselves and summarizing the content. Let's at least talk about what Anchor Roy, the author of Hands on Python for DevOps, talked about in this last chapter. Three pretty tight sections. The first one, and he did give his technical requirements. To your point, Angela, it's always good to know what you need before you get into it, right? And he did list the stuff that you need before you start getting into these particular sections. The first section, which he labeled Advanced Automation Tools, got into AWS step functions. And just, a little bit of background on step functions as they are. It's basically an automation platform that's really closely tied to all the resources and services in AWS. So you can use triggers and events from things happen all across the AWS platform to run a state machine. And you could check, state of certain properties as the state machine is running in different, parts of the flow chart, if you want to call it that. And then based on the state, you can do a certain thing. He gave an example, pretty straightforward example of like a ping pong state machine based on the value of some parameters. And he just kind of looped through and did a ping or a pong until I think the ping and the pong had to be equal. And then it would time out and the state would complete. It was a good introduction to the process, the service.
I thought so.
Step functions.
I thought so.
But here we are again looking for code. So that was the only sort of drawback that I saw from this particular example. I think it would have been a good example or good opportunity for a Lambda function, a Python-based Lambda function that was called as part of the.
That would have been on the nose.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. So, and I've worked with developers to implement step functions that do that. They were using Ruby. So, I'm not going to hold that against them. It wasn't Python, but right. But yeah, it was for data processing. It was like, the data stream was coming in from a particular source and it was more data than, one particular Lambda function could handle in a single pass, because you're limited to the amount of time that a Lambda function can run. I think it's 15 minutes.
Yes.
And they needed more time. So they broke up the data in different ways and used different functions to process different parts of it. And the step function handled all of that. It orchestrated everything.
Oh, interesting.
It was pretty cool. So yeah, I like the idea of step functions as an automation engine. Just in this particular section, talking about Python, it would have been cool to see a Lambda function or two. I
agree. That would have really tied it. It would have really tied the purpose of the book together with this example. But I'm sure in the second edition, there'll be more of that. We are so hopeful for edition number 2 to come in.
Yes.
And really expand upon what I think is a really good framework. It can only get better from here.
Yeah, totally agree.
So yeah, that is step functions. It's an AWS serverless service that just helps you build and manage workflows in an orchestrated fashion. Yeah, I think it was a good example, but what would have made it great if he had used
a little bit of Python.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right. And that was a really short section. So we don't have to belabor that point very much. You want to go on to number 2, the second part of our 3 series conversation on chapter 13?
Yes, indeed. Advanced monitoring tools, rather, was the next section. I was excited about this one because I use Grafana in my 9-to-5, in my day-to-day. So I'm like, yes, let's get a good demo. Let's do some stuff with Grafana, self-hosted or even hosted in the cloud. A lot of good options there. I did do a little demo using his lead to spin up Grafana locally using a Docker Compose.
Oh, cool.
And I started to mess around with a Python function that would push some data into Prometheus, which would then be scraped by, the Prometheus endpoint would feed into Grafana for visualization. And I kind of got stopped short because, life is lifing, work is working. So I instead took his lead and used Mockaroo to create some mock data.
There you go.
In his demo, he used Google Sheets, which, he went back to Google, gotta, love him for that. And he showed how you can integrate Grafana with Google Sheets, so you can pull data from there in real time. Pretty cool example, because if you get that set up correctly, you can update the sheet and your graph will update in real time, which is pretty cool. I was just working with static data. I just uploaded a CSV from Mockaroo and was kind of messing around with that. So again, good demo. I really appreciate that he offered this as a way to monitor your processes or services wherever they're running. Grafana is a great tool for that. But I was looking for some more Python. So
what would you, if you had to do a demo on Grafana and Python to tie the two tools together, what would it look like?
Yes, indeed. I'm so glad you asked that question.
Okay.
No, so as I started down this road, I had my Grafana in place. I had the Prometheus in place, and I was going to use a Fast API function, or Fast API web application, Fast API being a Python library for developing APIs. And I was just going to have this simple little web application that I could curl the endpoints and do different things with it to drive data generation. And the function was instrumented in such a way that it was pushing the data into Prometheus. And then Grafana would pick up the data from Prometheus. I got each one of those individual pieces deployed and kind of, ready to go. I just didn't connect them all. Like, I didn't get Grafana connected to my Prometheus in time to share it here with you and everyone else. So that's pretty much how I would do it. I would have some sort of web application that's generating the metrics. Of course, some stimulus to sort of drive the web application in an automated fashion. And then Grafana would just be picking up the data on the back end and displaying it.
Cool. Well, in an ideal world, again, work be working and life be life. And
yes,
thank you for explaining that, because that is another possible, very plausible use case in how to integrate Grafana and Python together, which would have been an amazing demo for the next edition. Yes. So let's talk about number 3.
Fast forwarding and speeding right along to number 3.
We are doing this.
We're wrapping this up. Advanced event response strategies.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the strategy portion of this section title was pretty important because it wasn't necessarily technical at all. It was general enough that you could apply the strategy to just about any sort of situation. And so he basically walks through like how to approach a problem.
Yes.
And I guess we can go through the steps very quickly here. He's got
Yes.
well 4 steps because he started from 0. I do appreciate that.
The humor in that. Because that really starts from 0. But the first one is the most basic, which if you're in the middle of some sort of event or something has happened that usually is something that happened has gone wrong, the first thing you need to do in your troubleshooting is to really understand where you're starting from. Read the error message. I was just a part of this really cool study group with a bunch of people. 80% of us passed the AWS solution architect on the first try.
Yay! That's what I'm talking about.
In 5 weeks. So that was pretty fun. We were talking about the questions being very long. And people were complaining about that. And I had gone to a prep course where the instructor said, you need to get used to reading long form content. And I think because we're in such a scroll fast, short title, we're not really digesting enough information. And it kind of carries over to your troubleshooting. When you're looking at a very long-winded error message and something, and you're just like, well, get to the meat. No, you have to read it and pick it apart and dissect it. Where exactly the error lies. Is it a simple, and I'm sure you're going to maybe mention this in a bit, where he's talking about what if there's multiple things wrong? And you need the foresight to understand these multiple things and do what we all do best in this world we live in. We Google it. So the first one, step 0, is read. Read for comprehension and understanding exactly what you're dealing with.
Yeah. And I'll just comment to that before we move on to the next step, which you already mentioned, which is to Google, is that our attention spans are much shorter, and it's interesting how that is coming over into our troubleshooting. Like we just want to get to the point, we don't want to read this wall of text that says, hey, your service just died or whatever, but I think that's a good point for AI where you can say, hey, here is the error, drop it into your chat, window or whatever interface and say, what's going on here? And the AI can squash that down into a nice, concise summary to satisfy our short attention spans. Or more importantly, if it's a system that has awareness of everything else that's going on, it may be able to pinpoint the error to say, hey, this is the thing that's broken. This is the error. This is how the problem is sort of manifesting itself. But this is the problem over here. So you need to look over here. So yeah, definitely use those tools if you got them.
Indeed. So you were talking about step 1 and step 2, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Well, all of them. 0, if you need to read, but you're not taking the time to read, give it to your AI, condense that, and then step 1, which is the second step, is if it's a small problem, Google it. If you got tools that will tell you what the problem is, use those tools. Googling it, particularly if you can cut and paste that entire error or message or whatever the thing is, your indicator, into Google, more than likely somebody else will say, hey, my system did XYZ and this is the error. And if it's like Stack Overflow or something like that, or Perplexity, or even if you're using another chat engine like Grok or Claude or something, it may be able to take that and offer you a solution. But again, I would lean on the tools that are surfacing the error, or the tools that know more about your systems, because these general sources, those people's situations might be similar, but it could be different. That's just going to give you kind of a pointer on the way that you should go, as opposed to a true solution. And I see, to your point now, in step 2, which is the third step, he's saying, Google it multiple times or use AI to kind of chime in on how things are working together.
And I'm sure that has become commonplace in how we all troubleshoot. I've done that multiple times today, troubleshooting an issue. And it's quicker. to get to the root of your problem, to understand the problem, because ChatGPT can be very verbose in her explaining of things, but sometimes that's good because you get this more context. Now, of course, this wasn't mission critical. I was figuring out a problem that I caused for myself personally. Allowing myself the time to ruminate over, read through and exactly what the cause and what it could be and all these things. But when you are dealing with an event, he calls it your response to event and the different strategies you use, you may not have that luxury. So do what you got to do to get the problem solved as quickly as possible. And what about number? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, no, before going on, I just wanted to lamp on to your use of AI. I'm really kind of shouting out Copilot for Microsoft Office.
Okay.
The one thing that I really like about Copilot for Microsoft Office is it has access to all of our internal data stores, right? So it's doing sort of a retrieval augmented generation. So it can read my emails. It can read documents that I've worked with in Confluence and these other sort of data stores. And so there was one problem that I was having, and I really didn't even think it would maybe even help me. But I was like, let me give it a shot. And I typed in, my prompt, and it was like, based on this email that you got 2 weeks ago, this is what you need to be. And I'm like, I completely forgot about that email. But here it was, I had the solution already, and it surfaced that for me. And I was like,
That's awesome.
What, Copilot, I can rock with you like that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not a Copilot user. So at some point, I hope I can get to where you are. Hopefully they'll enable it for the enterprise at some point. But that is actually, that's the superpower, right? Because some problems may have come across in our work, in our emails. Do you read every email that comes into your inbox? I do not.
Not at all.
I do not. But to have a tool like that can siphon through just so much information that has come through you, through your way, and be able to give you point you in the right direction, or give you a solution, or provide you that very deep understanding, or point you in the right direction. I think that's really cool. It's the fact that we have to do more with less. We have to move faster and faster all the time. It makes sense to have these integrated AI tools that help us stay at speed, to be able to deliver at speed. So bring on the very helpful AI. Bring it on.
Yes, indeed. Step 3, which is the fourth and final step in his process, is follow the methods of induction and deduction.
Okay.
And let's see, trying to think where he kind of broke it down. Induction is where you're actually induction is recreating the elements that cause a problem in a system to know exactly where the problem has occurred. And deduction is starting at the end and going backwards to the beginning, so you can kind of deduce things.
Yes.
That's he's going on to say that use that when the logic of the error is not recreatable, or an incident has occurred already with no idea of how it occurred. So you're basically going to have to become Sherlock Holmes and sort of trace steps backwards, look for clues, and kind of figure out what happened. And if you want to be like a true, DevOps or reliability practitioner, you want to fix things so that they don't break that way again. You know that they're going to break again, but you don't want it to break the same way that it broke the last time. You want to break some kind of different way that we didn't figure out before. So I think that's a big part of the deduction too, is figuring out what really happened here, and then how can we fix it to make sure that it doesn't happen again.
Yep. What is it called? Event-driven architecture.
Right.
Events happen, and if they happen, fine. If it happens once, you have to figure out a way to automate it away. And once you've done that, if it happens again, automation can come in and handle the issue for you. Of course, notify and log if those are your processes in place. But there's so many things that happen that could just be automated. Like once it comes up and that event comes through, specifically, well, I don't want to talk specifics, but yes, there are many tools that are available that'll help you do that. So yeah,
and I think J. Cole said it best, because fool me one time, shame on you. fool me twice, can't put the blame on you. I mean, that's
wow,
on
we're
you.
quoting J. Cole.
Quoting rap lyrics. Yeah, you should have fixed it. That's
true.
on you. So yeah, indeed.
So
And that brings us to the end of the book.
that's it.
Yeah, Mr. Roy summarizes the topics that we discussed in this chapter and going all the way back to the beginning in some cases. And he basically closes kind of like with the in reference to the quote at the beginning of the chapter. And I'll read directly from the book. So you get all of this emotion, all of the feeling that the author intended. Now comes the part where you apply all of this knowledge in your own daily dealings. Remember, the power is with you. It is time to use it.
Indeed.
So yeah, we've read the book. We've picked up the gems. We've analyzed it. We've gone further in some cases where we had to like build our own resources for demonstration and everything. And so now we are enabled, we are empowered to go hands-on Python with DevOps.
Go forth and learn. Go forth and do.
Prosper.
Yep. Yeah, go
no
forth and
doubt.
Prosper. All right, so that wraps up season 3 of From Cover to Code, but that's not it, because
that is not it.
This is not it. This is the beginning of something else. The end is always the beginning of something else. So
I love that.
Talk about it.
Yeah, let's just chop it up a little bit and catch up on some things that we've been working on. I did go to Afrotech last week. I had the benefit of going to that event in Houston, Texas. I don't have an overlay for Afrotech, but I think that it's afrotechconference.com. You can find out all the information there. And I really just like that gathering of technologists that are focused on our community as Black people that are working in tech. Lots of companies present, lots of entrepreneurs and founders and creators and just the people starting their careers, people experiencing their careers. It's an awesome collection of so many different perspectives. And it's just really cool to be able to be a part of that mix. So yeah, I had a great time. Really enjoyed it.
Oh, I'm so glad for you. I've only attended Afrotech once, and I was there on booth duty.
Yes, right.
For a company I work for, and I got to speak to so many people. It was absolutely inspiring to talk to people from so many different walks of life and so many different steps along their journey. Not everybody was fresh out of college. Some people were career changers. I mean, I took a lot away from those conversations, and it was probably one of the better conference experiences I had in that respect. Doing booth duty, it's not one of my favorite things, but by far that was one of my favorite booth duty activities. I'll never forget it. I met who gets to talk to so many people in the course of a day or 2 or 3, however long they're on there. And it was very impactful for me to understand, where people are coming from, where they're trying to go, imparting advice on them if that's what they're asking for, or just listening and hearing what they're doing and where they think they're going and what they see for themselves. I was really encouraged at that time at Afrotech, and hopefully I get to do that again one day in the future.
They'll be back in Houston next year.
Okay.
I think it's the first week of November 2026. So definitely check out afrotechconference.com. And I think early bird tickets are already on sale if you want to jump onto that opportunity, or get your CFP ready if you want to submit a talk. The talks were really good. Lots of AI topics, which was to be expected at this point in industry and in technology. So I got a lot of tips that space. And one of my favorite opportunities, reflecting on this past week, is the creators meetup. So during the event, during the course of the conference, they set aside specific time and space for like-minded individuals to get together and chop it up. So there's a engineers meetup, there's a creators meetup, and I forget what the other. For example, there's a Divine Nine, Greek fraternity sorority meetup. There was a HBCU meetup. So depending on these different spaces that you're in, it's an opportunity for everybody to get together and chop it up. One of my favorites is the creator meetup. So I did go, and while I was there, I interviewed several folks there to just learn about the content that they're creating, and I asked them how they keep up on tech in their space, whatever. And I talked to a DJ, I talked to a filmmaker, I talked to a lawyer, I talked to a book author. So there are like so many different types of creators that are focused on technology in our space, and I was really excited for that opportunity.
So what are you going to do with those interviews?
I'm so glad that you asked. I've got all that content, right? I've got all that content. It's sitting safely in a vault, and I've shared it with a very capable editor. And I want to put together like a special episode from Cover to Code.
Oh, I love that. Maybe
you'll see in the near future, and we'll have a little watch party. We'll check it out. And yeah, we'll just enjoy it. Yeah. And I don't know, who knows, maybe we'll try to get one of those folks onto the show. I don't know.
Fantastic.
We've got all types of opportunities that we can use for that content. So I'm excited.
I'm excited for us. Like, I'm very excited. So I only had one wish, and that wish was that you gave out stickers from Cover to Code stickers. Did you?
Yes, I did. And thank you for reminding me, because I had them ready to go, but I had not packed them. So I saw you messaged me, and I was like, oh, I got to grab the stickers. So I grabbed the stickers. Everybody that I connected with throughout the conference, I gave them one of our stickers. And I wish I had one to show for the people that are watching the live stream. I don't right off the top of my head. I'm looking left and right. You got, okay, excellent. Perfect.
Look at that.
Yes, I know. And so everybody that I interviewed, I gave them stickers. If I connected with people on LinkedIn, I gave them stickers too. So yes, we are definitely getting mileage out of those stickers.
Awesome. Awesome. That's all I had. I had one ask. That was it.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Cool. Yeah. Hey,
so what else are we doing? What else?
Well,
what have you done?
I know there are so many more developments, and this is like truly a finale for this season, right? Because
it is.
We're going to leave people. We're not going to leave you hanging on too much of a cliff for the stuff that's coming up. But I do have some stuff to share, kind of like blow your mind type stuff. And somebody said in regarding the stickers that they are cute. Yes, they are. Thanks, Angela, for pulling those stickers together. I want to share with you all, and I'm going to add it to the stage here in our in the studio, this particular resource. And let me see if I got a banner for it too. Yes, I do. I want to share with you blacktechplus.com, and that's blacktechplus.com. This is an application that Jordan and Tiffany, the hosts of the Stats on Stats podcast, put together to collect all of these different creators, African-American creators, African creators, Black creators in the technology space in one easy to find spot. So if you're following our podcast and you're like, man, who else is putting out content like this? Then I want you to check out blacktechplus.com.
I love that. Oh
yeah, indeed. On the, let me see if I can get the right tab here. The channels page, you can see all of the channels that they're pulling information from, pulling content from. And these will take you to the video feed or maybe their podcast feed. I'm going to use ours as an example, of course. So from this page, you can go to like the From Cover to Code channel on Black Tech Plus, and you can see all of our past episodes right here in one place.
We've done 20? And this is number 21?
We've done quite a bit. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
we're out here doing the damn thing.
That's what I'm doing the damn thing. That is impressive.
Yeah, no doubt. So yeah, you can let me see if I can select an episode.
It doesn't feel like work when you're having so much fun. Like it feels like I'm getting on with my boy here and we just cutting up. That's what
that's what I'm talking about.
And of course we read the books. Don't you worry. We read these books from cover to code, and that is just an opportunity for us to get together and talk technology and catch up with one another. And you are all a part of that conversation as well. Each and every time you jump on and you say whatever you say, or put your questions or your comments in the chat, you are rocking with us and you are a part of this conversation. So you can't get much better than this. I absolutely can't get much better than this. So this is so cool.
Yeah, it's a very tight platform. And I'm just scrolling through the homepage for the folks that are watching us live.
Shout out to Jordan and what's her co-host name?
Tiffany.
Jordan and Tiffany.
Yeah.
Ladies, y'all doing that. This is
doing
so
the
cool.
damn thing. Yeah. And I mean, I'm fanboying because we're on here with Dim Tech folks. That's a podcast that I've been following since they jumped off.
Exactly.
Stats on Stats podcast is another podcast that I listen to regularly. So yeah, I'm like just honored to be in the company of these other creators that I follow as a fan. You know what I'm saying? So it's really cool to have that experience.
Love Rico, a friend of mine, just watching him blossom into this amazing podcaster. He's such a technical whiz, and he's always just leveling up and helping other people level up. Like that is in his DNA. And to see that this podcast just keeps giving and giving, and no matter where he is, where he's working, it doesn't matter. He's always about that life. So I love his authenticity. Hey, Rico.
Hey. Yeah, shout out to them tech folks, man.
Yep.
It's all in the family.
Awesome.
Cool. Well, coming off of that high and sharing all other types of content, with different folks and other content creators. Actually, I'm trying to take that off this day. I'm trying to talk while I'm trying to do something.
That's the hard part.
It is. Let me stop my screen share so I can add the screen that I really want to share. Which is big news for us, because we are a video first podcast, right? We go live on LinkedIn, we go live on YouTube, and then we publish on YouTube. And I will put that up here. We publish live on YouTube, youtube.com/@cover-to-code. That's where you can find like the polished and edited episodes, or you can catch us live right here on LinkedIn, right here on YouTube.
Yeah.
But going beyond the video first podcast, we got to jump into the audio space as well. Because I know some of y'all are like, I can't catch y'all live. I can't watch the video while I'm driving into work, but I want to listen to you, right? Maybe I don't have YouTube Premium where I can put the video in the background. I want to check y'all out. That's a real struggle. Okay. So we are now live on Spotify. So if you are a Spotify podcast consumer, you can now find the From Cover to Code podcast on Spotify. All episodes ready to stream right now.
This. I'm sending this link to my son right now because
he has
Spotify because he's on the family plan. So now he can listen to me and you just, I love that we are on Spotify. You just do so much. And I am so blessed to be friends with someone who just knows all the buttons to push. He's always brainstorming the best ideas. I love it. And there's no one I can think of that I could do this with week in and week out because you're you. And it definitely brings so much from Cover to Code to have someone who's just so dedicated and has a really strong footing in technology and is a really great communicator. All like in a nice little bundle, you are all the things. And I'm just really lucky to have you as my friend.
That means a lot. That means a lot, Angela, coming from you, because I appreciate your technical acumen as well. And like I said, this is the highlight, right? The discussion is the highlight.
Yeah.
Everything else is gravy. The Spotify feed, the Black Tech Plus, incorporation, everything. That's all gravy. The interaction that we have and the discussions that we have, that is like spot on the highlight. So that's wonderful. Yeah, and see, I'm at a loss for words now. I'm trying not to get all misty over here and everything, but definitely wanted to share with y'all. This is like that's what I was gonna say. This wasn't something that happened overnight. We've been working on this season since, I don't know, when did we start? 6, 7, maybe 8 weeks ago. Well, we started at the beginning. Yeah, January when we started, and it's we've just sort of leveled up slowly over time, with the streaming on different places, very organic, adding different elements to our show, and just getting the audio version in place, and there's still yet more to come. Maybe that's the cliffhanger, because there's more to come for season 4 of From Cover to Code. It's not an overnight thing. We're working on this slowly but surely with lots of intention.
Indeed.
But season 4 is going to be coming soon. Well, maybe not soon. You're going to have to wait a little bit, but
just a little bit.
Yeah. In the meantime, go back to season 1, season 2, season 3, catch up on all that stuff, and be ready and waiting for us for season 4.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I have nothing else but excitement and wonder as to what is coming next from Cover to Code. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
All right.
It's gonna be good. Well, before we wrap, let's shout out some of the folks that joined us live.
Ooh,
and
yes.
I'm sorry, LinkedIn folks, if you added a quote and I don't show your name, I apologize. That's the way they're coming into the system. Somebody joined and said, "Who has the time?" I think we were talking about how busy we were. And are you looking up the names so we can?
I am.
Them out?
I need to know who these people are, because they're here rocking with us. So
exactly, yeah, they deserve their shout out as well. Somebody enjoyed the Socrates quote from the beginning. We got somebody from YouTube joining us. Rohith Jetty 3498. He says hello.
Thank you.
We did get a shout out for the stickers. Somebody said the stickers were cute.
That's Lanai. Thank you.
Oh, Lanai. Yeah, thanks for rocking with us again.
She is a constant listener. Of course, Sterling, definitely he's an SRE, yes. Smart as a whip. Okay, I'm watching this man's trajectory has been nothing short of amazing. So, and the fact that he rocks with us, I'm very happy to have him here. Yes, thank you so much for everybody who's rocking with us, and our guy Tech Coach Ralph, always in the building. Thank you so much.
And he did say that sorry he was late, but he had a busy day. Hey, Wednesday is being that day for just about everybody this week. So my man, we're just happy to have you in the building. And I'm still trying to keep up with you, Tech Coach Ralph. You've been dropping some gems in his YouTube feed lately about he was talking about OBS, how to get your stream right. He was talking about like layoffs and how to level up your career and kind of ride that wave if that might be affecting you. It's just like he's all over the map, but focused at the same time on leveling people up. It's like
I love that.
Number one in my feed on YouTube for sure.
Well, thanks again. Thanks to everybody who's been in the chat. Thanks to everybody who listens. Thanks to everybody who just brings so much value and support to our little book club. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes. And we really, really do appreciate you. We are going to take a little break.
Yes.
As we get onto some of the other stuff that we do. In the meantime, we do this for fun, but there's other stuff that we got to do to pay the bills, So we're going to take care of some of that business. Yes. And we're also going to be planning the next book that we're going to read. And then we will be prepping for season 4 of From Cover to Code sometime. I'll say, what do you think, Angela? Early next year, like January 2026 timeframe.
That's a nice birthday.
Just ride through the holidays. Yeah.
Yes. Let's get through the holidays.
Yeah.
And the first of the year, it would be a nice birthday present for Angela to be back with Mike doing From Cover to Code. That would be
That's
so
what
legit.
I'm talking about.
That would be so legit.
Yeah. So. Yeah. And Tech Coach Ralph says, see you guys soon. Thanks for sharing with us. Yeah. Indeed,
always. Man, but you'll see us on the socials. That won't go away.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll definitely be popping up.
It does ebb and flow, doesn't it? Depending on what's going on in your life.
It does. Yeah. And Sterling came back and says, thanks for the platform and the valuable content. Yeah. We're just sharing our experiences, our interpretations of these great books that we're going through, and just trying to enhance, our understanding, your enjoyment, whatever it is, your understanding as well. And we're just happy to have everybody along with us for the ride.
Very heartfelt.
Yes, indeed. So maybe we should just call it a wrap before. I mean, it's getting misty in this room.
But I'm sad to see it go, but I'm excited to see what's next.
Yes,
that's
indeed.
Literally
that's the most exciting part. Yes,
all
indeed.
Right. Well, thanks for rocking with us, and we'll see you next year.
Yeah. I'll say see you soon.
See you soon. See you soon, 2026, babe.
Yeah, January is going to be here before we know it.
All right. Take care.
Right. All right. We'll see y'all.